watchful eye on it.
Yeah, for good reason, because there's a lot of chatter in our communities about a potential Gulf system, Gulf hurricane. Not this weekend, and there's no guarantee that we're going to have an effect from a hurricane here specifically. But because the chatter is out there, let's put context into all the different things that you're hearing and seeing. This is the disturbance, and we let you know about it even earlier this week, that there can be a little blip here of clouds and disturbed weather in the tropics that will cross into the Caribbean. It has done so, but it's still getting the effects of stronger upper winds, so it's very disorganized. That's one thing that's really keeping it back from getting stronger and getting a name and getting those forecast cones that we see from the National Hurricane Center. But as it continues to traverse the Caribbean, it will move by this weekend into a zone of very warm water to the west of Jamaica, to the south of Cuba. That warm water, as you may know, is kind of like the fuel that a tropical system needs to organize, create the circulation that eventually forms a tropical storm and hurricane. So the warm water is there, but it's going to take a little extra time to move out of that unfavorable setup that's in now before it gets into the western side of the Caribbean, where those waters are warm and the shear is decreased. So that's where we can really see it ramping up in intensity by the tail end of the weekend or early next week. So that's the zone where we can see that system really getting its act together. Now, when it comes to where it's going to go, that's still the big question, and there are some factors to consider with that. There is a belief that maybe a more southern focused system can maybe stay on the western track more and turn north kind of later in the period, probably in the early part of next week. But if that system goes a little farther north, a front that will start to encounter our region may actually cause it to turn more to the north sooner. So all these factors are being put into the squiggly model guidance that you've seen on social media perhaps, and they're still very divergent. It means they don't agree. Some turn it into the peninsula, and some on that more southern track make a broader curve into the central Gulf and then towards the northern Gulf region. And we're looking at about midweek time frame. So that front that comes here on Monday, Tuesday, is going to be the deciding factor, in my opinion, as far as whether it's going to make that quick turn across the peninsula or thereabouts, or maybe stay longer and maybe more delayed over the Gulf and have more of an impact in the central or eastern side. So that's where we are right now, and that's what you need to know. Just keep an eye on this, because we have plenty of time to track it over the Caribbean to see how it forms and which of those two solutions it's going to take. And it's nothing to really panic about at this point. And there's other systems out there too. They're not of any major concern, but I show the list of names because the next name on the list may be familiar to you, Hermine. But with those other systems in the eastern Atlantic, there's no guarantee that that Caribbean system is going to take Hermine. And I know I can hear the jokes about Hermine 2.0 already. Hopefully it doesn't come down to that, but whatever happens, we're on top of it. We're going to let you know how